The future of combat sports, a centralized platform where fighters, fans, coaches, promoters, and anyone involved in a fight game connect, communicate, and do business. Fighters can find fights, fans follow every move, and everyone in a fight game can showcase their services. Whether you're looking to promote a fight, find a cutman, or book talent, it's all here. Fightbook is changing the fight game forever. Welcome to the revolution.
Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We could call it Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard from the champion himself.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And like Fightbook, we're simply knocking out the competition. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we got the one, the only, the CEO, the boss man himself, Mark Habibi on The Fighter's Voice. Questions are coming, news is coming, and we're about to kill the whole situation, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a big weekend coming up. We got to do a recap. But most of all, welcome to The Fighter's Voice, Mark.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, I feel good now that I got my hat on and, I'm feeling really equipped and looking forward to a great weekend.
We're twinning right now. I love it.
I love it, man. I got to tell you, man, let's talk about Pro Box. I mean, when I was there and I was rocking the suit, I mean, the name speaks for itself, man. I mean, people just looked at me different. Some people really didn't recognize me because that's really not the way I get down when it comes to fights. I'm always wearing the jacket, the hat, or the slacks and the jeans, but it was a different look for me. But it opened up a lot of doors because it's just the respect that it has, that it carries. And even when I mentioned it to Arnold Barboza, he said, "Oh, I heard a lot about it." And I tell him, hey, not just hearing about it, let's be about it. I said, Arnold Barboza in collaboration with Fightbook, hey, it's a win-win situation.
Hey, you wore it well and it looked great on you. And I can't wait to see you rock it again.
I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to this Saturday, Las Vegas, Nevada. Manny Pacquiao about to make history once again and open up another chapter in his life. And if anybody can do it, it's going to be Manny.
I agree 100%, and I'm excited to see the fight.
So let's talk about fightbook.com and what you can do to register and where the concept came from and from the beginning and to now and where do you see it going in the future?
Sure. A lot of questions there. So let's start at where you register. You register at fightbook.com. Anybody can register. It's a free platform. The idea sparked from frustration. I started my boxing career journey about three years ago or so, and I started managing fighters. And the first two fighters I managed had promoters, and there's a different level of work you have to do as a manager when you have fighters that are represented by promoters versus fighters that don't have any representation. And So there's an extra layer of work you have to do as a manager when you're building a fighter who does not have a promoter behind him. And the biggest hurdle for me was finding opponents for the fighters. Because as you know, when the pro's making his pro debut, you want to match him up against a guy who's like 0-2. When he becomes 4-0, you want to put him up against a guy who's like 2-2. You don't want to put him against a guy that's got like 20 or 30 fights, right? So you got to be very strategic about how you move the fighter. It's a very unforgiving sport. You don't want him to take a loss too early in his career, yet you want to challenge him along the way. When he gets to 10-0, you want to put him against a guy who's like 7-3. So the struggle of finding those opponents, I noticed it was very inefficient. The process was inefficient in finding them. It was expensive, and it was a frustrating process. And there weren't a whole lot of options available. Eventually I built, a quote unquote Rolodex in my cell phone of booking agents
That's what we call it.
Source these fighters. And I'd send like 30 texts out there of the what I'm looking for. I need a 6-rounder with a winning record, 140 pounds. And so you send 30 texts, and out of those 30 texts, you probably get 5 people that respond to you, and one of them has something close to what you're looking for. And then you got to start the whole, is he available? Is he willing to fight? How much is he willing? So you start this whole process of negotiating, and you don't know if the fight's going to happen or not. And once you do lock that opponent, you don't know if he's going to show up, because you have no way of knowing how reliable he is. So my background is real estate investments, and I thought to myself, we had in real estate, you have the tool called the MLS, which allows you to search and filter properties quickly based on exactly what you're looking for. So if I want to find a condo in Texas, I can get on the platform and quickly search based on year built, square footage, purchase price, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, view, pool, this, whatever I want. I get very specific. So I was
Right.
thinking, why doesn't this exist in combat sports? Why can't you quickly identify what you're looking for based on fighters that are out there that want to compete, but to find that right fit, not a fighter with not too many fights, a fighter with a certain win to loss ratio, fighter that's willing to fight in a certain number of rounds in a certain weight class in a certain geographic region of the world. So I wanted to simplify and streamline that process. So the idea of Fightbook was born, and it was more geared originally towards just being a matchmaking platform. But we soon realized when we were developing the product that there was a need beyond just matching fighters, that there's a whole ecosystem that we could create and tap into and really create opportunities for everybody that's involved either directly or indirectly in the sport in any way, shape, or form. And so the idea has grown, it's evolved. I'm sure it's going to continue to evolve. And I'm excited that we're making this product, and we finally have it out there, and it's a very limited capacity right now. It's our MVP, which doesn't stand for most valuable player. It stands for minimum viable product, and that's basically the bare bones to get the product out there, to start getting feedback from people, and to make adjustments, because you can't build every single feature that I have envisioned for this platform within the time. It's going to take time, energy, and money, and we need to have a proof of concept first. We need to make sure we get some traction, and then if the boxing or the fight world accepts and adopts this platform, we can scale it and start to add all the bells and whistles.
Well, people hear the name and they really want to know the concept, and they're going to exercise that opportunity for their career to blossom, for their career to prosper. I know myself as a commentator, post-fight interviewer, I'm definitely going to be on there. So I'm not one of those to say, okay, I'm endorsing it, but I don't believe in it. I believe in it 110%. And every time I get the opportunity, I'm your representative. It's going to come out of my mouth, and I'm going to convince them, because when it's the truth will always prevail, and it will always give everybody the opportunity. You're going to get exactly what you give into it. And you got to study. You got to make sure you're on there. You got to make sure, who did I get contacted by? And you got to stay on it. Contact them. It's a big, giant Rolodex.
It is. It's a place where people can connect, communicate, and transact. We're not trying to interfere with the way anybody transacts. We simply want to bring everybody under one platform, so it's just easier to connect. The goal is to help make more fights happen. And how we do that is by making shows more profitable for promoters. And how we do that is by reducing their expenses. And the way we reduce their expenses is by providing a platform where they can source fighters from a specific geographic region, so they're not spending money flying in opponents from overseas and cross country and paying those per diems and airfare and hotels, and also providing them with fighters from the home, close to where the fight's taking place, because local fighters bring local fans. So by reducing expenses and amplifying revenue via ticket sales, we're hoping that more promoters put on fights. The existing promoters put on more shows, and more promoters jump into the space. And because we need more activity at the club level, there's just not enough promoters that are doing shows out there today to service the needs of all the fighters that are out there. This is plain and simple. Every fighter you talk to complains that they're not fighting enough. They all want to fight, but there's just not enough shows out there. And the reason why are because of those hurdles that I just mentioned. They're not profitable, and because of the struggle. So we hope to streamline the process. We hope to make everything easier, allow promoters to tackle different markets by, having a one-stop shop where they can search and find everything they need, from the venue to the ring rental to the ring announcers, media, security, event staffing, videographers, whatever they need. So really, this platform is a home for anybody who has anything to do with combat sports, and it's free. It costs you nothing. There's no reason why anybody shouldn't come out there and explore the platform and create their profile and put out to the world what kind of service that they provide. You know, so the possibilities are really endless with this platform. It's just a matter of us getting traction and for the fight community to adopt the platform, give us some support. And if they support this, we're going to keep going.
Fightbook, that's going to become a household name. And where did you get the idea of the name Fightbook?
I was just brainstorming, trying to think of something catchy, something that would stick, not too complicated. And, you know, I the name wasn't available at first. I mean, it was available to trademark, but I noticed that the domain was taken, so I ended up buying the domain off of an individual. The handle was taken. I ended up buying the handle off of an individual, and I trademarked the name, and I thought it just stuck. It sounds like Facebook, Fightbook. It's kind of a similar concept where you're just connecting everybody. They're a free platform. We're a free platform. Everybody can use Facebook and Instagram to a certain capacity for free, and that's what we hope to do. We want to keep the main features, the basic features free, and we hope to monetize this eventually, but not really trying to monetize this out of the gate. We're not trying to monetize this at all out of the gate. Are we a for-profit company? Absolutely. Do we want to make money eventually? 100%. But we're going to make our money once the fight community adopts the platform. There'll be opportunities through advertising revenue, through the premium features. We hope to have a fighter management software where promoters, managers, and fighters can stay organized on their dashboard and get reminders when medicals are going to expire, when their contracts are expiring. We want to have tools for doing the contracting process online via DocuSign. So a whole bunch of things that are to come, and we can monetize those. But I want to keep it free for the fighters. I want to empower fighters to seek opportunities for themselves. And we respect all the contractual obligations out there. The first thing we ask when we're onboarding fighters is if they have any contractual obligations to their manager and or promoter. And if they do, they must disclose that, and they must put their contact information there. And we reach out and we send an invitation to them, because they need to be included on all the fighters' correspondence. We don't want anybody circumventing the platform and going behind anybody's back and trying to make fights on their own. We want to respect all the relationships out there. We simply just want to be a tool to help make more fights happen, help everybody stay more organized, streamline the process of making fights.
This is a win-win situation, and this is a no-brainer. It's all about just registering yourself, whatever you do, whether it's a cut man, if you're a fan, if you're a coach, you're a fighter. I mean, this is the platform for combat sports, and it's a no-brainer. And like I said, it's going to be a household name. It's the only book that matters.
A cool feature that the fighters are going to have is, as you know, when you're coming up as a fighter and you're the A-side fighter, you're trying to build your career. Unless you're going to take on a 50-50 fight, you're not getting paid, right? It actually costs you money. That's why a lot of these guys have people that are putting money behind them to help them get them on a card, right?
Yes.
And help them find that perfect opponent. So what happens is that a lot of these fighters don't have the financial ability to make those moves for themselves. So what they can do now through our platform, well, not now, but what's to come, is they can reach out to their fans on Instagram, their followers, and say, hey, I haven't fought in 6 months. I need $5,000 to get this next fight under my belt. Help me get there. And so they can put the Fightbook link there, and it'll be almost like a GoFundMe page where they can make a $5 donation per month or a one-time contribution and help the fighter get to his goal so he can get active again. So that's a really cool feature that we're putting out there for the fighters. We really want to empower fighters and bring transparency to the sport, because let's face it, most fighters come from the lowest socioeconomic demographic out there, and a lot of times they're taken advantage of. So we hope to clean up the sport and bring some transparency there. I don't think our platform is trying to replace anybody. I hear that sometimes. Oh, you're trying to replace the matchmaker. No, we're not. Matchmaking is an art. Styles make fights. We're simply providing the matchmaker more options to make the best fights that are out there. The promoters, they're going to welcome this with open arms, because they're going to save money and become more profitable. The fighters love it because we're empowering them to take control of their careers where they can seek opportunities. And booking agents, I've said this before, that A booking agent, a smart booking agent, will go and approach their fighters that they have relationships with and say, hey, let me be your representative. If you don't have a manager, if you don't have a promoter, let me be your representative to make sure that you're getting the value that you deserve. Because just like in real estate, 95% of transactions is a real estate agent involved. Why? Because the real estate agent understands the value of the asset, they know how to negotiate, and they understand contracts. So I think a smart booking agent steps into that role, embraces Fightbook, introduces it to the fighters and says, hey, this platform exists. It's going to help you get fights, but let me be your representative. Because at the end of the day, the amount a fighter gets paid depends on who the opponent is, where the fight's happening, how many rounds, what weight class. All these things play a part in determining what the value of that fight is. And you need an industry expert, right? You don't necessarily need it, but it's not a bad idea to have that industry expert to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of by anybody. Because at the end of the day, the promoter, he wants to spend as little money as possible to make the fight happen, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to have an intermediary. You're gonna have some fighters that are just gonna want to manage themselves, and they don't want anybody in the middle. So it's
Yeah, I
gonna
know a
play
few
out,
of those.
and that becomes a for sale by owner. You have sellers out there that are selling houses that don't want to have a real estate agent involved, and there's some successful ones, right? But the majority of them have this advocate, this intermediary that helps kind of navigate the waters. So I don't think we're trying to replace anybody. I think we're simply a tool for everybody out there.
Well, not only that, you're giving all these fighters a great opportunity. And let's talk about August 16th, the Butterfly Brawl. I mean, we're welcoming fighters. Hey, if you're ready to go, you want this opportunity, step up, register yourself right now. We'll get you matched up. If you meet the criteria, we'll make it happen. And this is a great opportunity for those fighters that sit back and say, hey, I can't get a fight. I haven't been able to fight for a while. Well, the opportunity is right in front of them.
This is our coming out party, where we are launching and basically introducing Fightbook to the world and saying, hey, if you want to have an opportunity to fight on this card, you got to register. And so it's working. We have hundreds of fighters that have registered in the last week or 10 days since we announced this campaign. And this is, even if the fighter doesn't get on the Butterfly Brawl August 16th, they're going to be in the database. And our next marketing campaign after this event is done is going to be towards the promoters that have shows coming up. You can't put the cart in front of the horse. So the reason why we're not doing aggressive marketing to the promoters right now is because they would be frustrated as hell if they came onto the platform searching for fighters and they're like, where are all the fighters? So we need to be strategic and smart about how we go about this. So the goal right now is to get all the fighters to onboard. And the way we're doing that is by having this, this amazing event in Santa Monica on the pier. Now it's going to be broadcasted. I'm not going to say exactly who's broadcasting it. I've shared it with you, but I don't want to go live with this until it's locked in. But I mean, it's a huge network that's going to be broadcasting this thing live, which is very exciting. And once we announce this, it's going to incentivize more fighters who want to get on the platform for an opportunity to be on this show. And once we have the fighters there, the promoters and matchmakers, they have no choice but to come. And it's in their best interest. There's no reason why they shouldn't. We're not charging them anything. We're simply providing a tool for them to easily connect and communicate with fighters out there and vice versa. Now, so the next marketing campaign is going to be geared towards the promoters, where we reach out to them and say, hey, you have a fight coming up? Tell us what your fighter needs are. And now we're going to be like a dating app where we're just connecting the two parties together.
Exactly. You know what? When I see that, I can't help but look at the warrior days, the gladiator days. You have all these fighters just pacing until their number is called, and then they show up. It's like the ultimate tournament. If they don't get picked this time, they're going to get picked in the next event.
Exactly.
But nevertheless, they're there, they're registered, and they're ready to go. They're a call away.
Exactly. And, a lot of fights fall apart last minute. So
yes,
smart fighters stay ready. And by staying ready, you have your medicals done, right? Have your medicals done and ready to go. And now you'll be very desirable to be a last minute opponent should the shit hit the fan on somebody's show. So many times fights fall apart because somebody gets injured. Somebody's visa doesn't get approved. Somebody doesn't make weight.
yes.
There's just endless reasons why fights fall apart. And it's so frustrating as a manager, and even more so for the fighter who's gone through a 6-week training camp and is 3 days away from his fight and he's cutting weight, and all of a sudden the fight's off. We're hoping that Fightbook's going to solve that problem.
Hey, Rich Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters, and like Fightbook, the only book that matters. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The channel, the viewers, the fans, and the followers. If you're a fighter, if you're a trainer, if you're a manager, any of the above, Fightbook.com will take care of you. Make sure you register now before it's too late. And remember, every fighter has a voice, and so does Fightbook. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
By having this database of fighters that are ready, willing, and able to go, they've got all their medicals done, and they can easily be found. It's not like trying to find a needle in the haystack, you know? You just click fully medical fighter, and then you click the soonest available date, and bingo, you're connected with fighters that are ready.
And not only having the medicals done, physically being in shape. So they perform. They're able just to not just, okay, well, we filled the void and we went 1 or 2 rounds. But no, we stepped in there and we're ready. We've been ready. We were waiting for this. We've been on standby. We got the golden opportunity and we showed the world our skill set.
Exactly. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because you never know what opportunity is going to come around. And that's the truth.
No, it is. And that's the way it is with life. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Every event that I do go to, I always have my tie in my bag, just in case a commentator gets a sore throat or something happens or he's a no-show or whatever it is. I'm always ready. I haven't exactly got that call, but I'm ready. And I always tell him, hey, I'll do your first 2 prelims for you. And, I got to hustle myself. So I know these fighters sit back and they're looking for that same opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So this is going to hopefully solve a lot of problems. Also, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to have a rating system, which is something that doesn't exist today, but it's going to be so valuable for promoters that are booking fighters to see how reliable is this opponent. So before you book him, you're going to see it's like an Uber driver, right?
Yeah.
If he's got 5 stars and he's done 10 transactions, you're going to feel pretty good about booking that guy.
Absolutely.
Versus the guy you see he's got 2.5 stars and you see that he's been booked 10 times and he showed up twice for the fights. You'll be like, I don't know about this. And it's going to make everybody more accountable. And the promoters are going to get rated too. What kind of accommodations did you provide? You know, were you treating the fighters nicely with respect? And it's just a way to keep everybody accountable. In this world of technology, you know, this is a tool to make everybody more accountable, more responsible, and, you know, hopefully behave better.
And, you know, you got to have tough skin, man, because some promoters, they'll think you did a great job one show. And then the very next show, they're on your ass. Like, my gosh, I can't believe you said this, you said that. Well, being a commentator, you got to story tell. If there's not a story in front of you, you got to create one. And, you know, people want that drama. They want that update. And again, they want to be informed of exactly what's taking place. And sometimes, Mark, the truth is ugly. So we tell the truth, and sometimes you can't handle the truth, or sometimes it's just ugly.
Yep. Yeah,
so right. I say that from experience. You know, I've had a pat on the shoulder, and then I've had not a pat, but for whatever reason, hey, we're going to continue to move forward and do what we do, because a commentator is a creator. He's a storyteller. He's an advisor. He's able to put what you see word into a lot.
It's an art. It's an absolute art.
Yes, it is. Did our mic change up a little bit, producer?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll keep it going right now. Mark, what else is in the future for Fightbook? I mean, are you going to do a movie? Are you going to do a book, a hard copy book? Where do you see yourself in about 2 years?
I see us growing this platform, getting traction in the United States, quickly, you know, expanding into Mexico and Puerto Rico. And if we get traction here, I really want to make a global brand out of this thing and expand across all combat sports. As a matter of fact, we had a conversation today with an individual who I'm bringing in to really start going after the MMA side of things, because we've been really heavily focused on boxing and onboarding boxers and sponsoring boxing events. But now we feel it's time to shift gears, because our emphasis right now is on the onboarding of fighters. And as we said, for onboarding fighters right now, we know we're going to have the same issue when it comes to the MMA guys. Why don't we deal with all the onboarding of all the fighters now for boxing and MMA and jiu-jitsu and all these combat sports? Let's bring the fighters in first. So that's really our focus. This full transparency, Fightbook is being updated on a daily basis, and it's developing rapidly, right? But our core focus right now is really making that onboarding of the fighter experience as clean as possible. So that means we're not really too focused on some of these other things out there. So if you get on, you start searching for fighters as if you're looking at, as a matchmaker, that whole thing needs work. And I already know that. But my whole thing was, I just wanted to get the product out there. I know it's not perfect. I know it's going to evolve, but you got to do one step at a time here. You can't just expect to launch this thing and it's fully built and it's going to be working perfectly. No, you just have to, it's evolution. You got to start, you got to get it out there. I was advised, because I kept wanting to pump the brakes, and my tech guys were like, get it out there. You're going to get feedback. You're going to have to work through some issues. This is not going to be perfect day one. So I took their advice, and I think it's working. And so, we're constantly testing the system. We're constantly getting feedback. We're revising, and this is going to continue. It's not there's not going to be an end to it for the next year at least. Probably 2 years at least. I think it's going to be ever evolving, because there's always going to be ways to improve. Because if you're not improving and staying at the top of the game, then somebody else is going to come in and do something more current, a little bit better. So I think the product is going to continuously evolve over time, and it's just going to, it's going to morph, and it's going to, hopefully just grow and keep growing and become a household name and a worldwide brand, and hopefully everybody in combat sports worldwide. So I see, us just trying to scale this thing.
That was going to be my next question, because the headline, when you hear it, is the future of combat sports, and the terminology is going to take over, because just as someone says, hey, what did you Google it? They're going to be saying, did you Fightbook it?
Yep.
Because that's exactly what they're going to be doing. It's whether it's MMA, whether I need to rent a ring, or I need someone to help me put up a cage. Did you Fightbook it?
Yep, I hope so. I hope you're right.
And that's the terminology that's going to take place. There's where you got to see it. Give it life. You call things if they're not as if they are, just like the Bible says, and the Bible doesn't lie.
Speak it into existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm focused. I mean, I'm all in. I had another job. I still have another job, but it's not nearly getting as much attention as this thing has. This is my baby, and I've built a great team, and I'm just excited. I'm excited. It's different than what I've done in my past life for the last 25 years. And it's complementary, because I'm taking a lot of those skill sets that I have and I'm applying it to this new industry that I'm involved in, kind of coming in with a fresh perspective, which I think is nice. It's challenging, because I'm learning the ropes as I go, but I'm confident that this is going to work out, and I'm excited.
Well, with the collaboration of the Fighter's Voice, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to be part of this growing existing team, because I see it going global. I see it going worldwide without any hiccups. The hiccups are there just to make you wiser. Because you got to remember, when you're in a fight, every fighter's going to take a jab or a big right hand. So is Fightbook, but they're going to continue to prevail and win that round and win that fight.
Yep, I agree. This thing is, nothing's perfect, nothing's flawless. It's work. You got to just keep. You get out of it what you put into it. You said it right at the beginning, and so it's just like a relationship, right? It's like marriage. Marriages don't just exist. It's a plant. You got to give it sunshine. You got to give it water. You got to tend to it. If you think you can just keep the plant in the shade and it's going to grow, and it's not. So this business is like that. You gotta keep persistence and just, obsession. And that's what I have. And that's how I feel. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. It's the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And it's just that it's that persistence that's going to make this thing successful.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I could have took a picture for all the eyes that were just looking this way with the fight book, and just knowing that it was being repped, and I could just see it. I saw it, I felt it, and it opened doors. It really did, and it's on the way. And I'm telling you this firsthand because a lot of times it's very difficult to get backstage, even though you got a pass. It's very difficult to get where you need to go. But once they see you in the way you conduct yourself as a true professional, because you don't want just anybody rocking Fightbook, especially if they're going to be having a media pass and having a beer. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? I witnessed that hand in hand, and I make sure when my job's done, I take my media pass off if I'm going to go hit the bar. But I do see people handling their structure or whoever they're representing. I learn from them. I as if to say, hey, that's exactly what I'm not going to do. But
Yep.
repping it gives you a little boost, and you hold your head up just a little higher than the rest of them.
Well, I'm proud that you're wearing it, and I'm grateful, and I thank you for rocking the brand. And I'm glad, and I'm proud to have you on the team.
Absolutely. I got to ask you this. Listen, I know the idea came, but let's start from the beginning. Did you ever box yourself? What made you become a boxing fan, a fanatic, a love for the sweet science? There has to be something.
I've been a huge fan since I was a kid, and I'm from the Mike Tyson era. And if there's a fighter that ever, got me hooked on the sport, it's Mike Tyson. I think he's the most exciting fighter of all time. I forgot what was the second part of your question?
I said, what got you addicted to it? What got your attention? Because everybody could be a fan, but you took it beyond. You gave it life. I mean, your love for the sweet science.
I wanted to get involved in the sport. I've been wanting to get involved for a long time, and clearly, you asked me if I fought before.
Yes,
that's what
exactly.
I did fraternity fight nights in college. Okay. Terrible boxer. If you YouTube it, you'll see I suck. So I obviously wasn't going to be a fighter, but I wanted to get involved in the sport. And I started managing, and I told you that the frustration just kind of a light went off.
Yeah.
Just based on my background in real estate, and I thought that I could help the industry by creating something that doesn't exist, and here we are. So let's see where this journey goes.
Well, we're gonna have some fun right now in this part of the interview. Okay, we're gonna have some fun right now. If you had a chance to enter the ring for an exhibition and share the ring with anybody, who would it be?
An exhibition. This is a famous person.
Hey, this is your call. It could be famous, or it could be, hey, let's me and this fighter, we're going to come in here and do 6 rounds. Exhibition is for a great cause. Who would it be? Who would be your pick?
Man, Jake Paul would knock me out probably, but let me think. Shoot, there's got to be some reality TV star out there that I'd want to beat up. Oh, you know what? Mauricio Umansky, the dude from The Agency. I'd like to knock him out.
Well, there you go. Now, what would be your walkout song?
Yeah. What's that?
What would be your walkout song?
DMX.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. And of course, you're going to be decked out in Fightbook gear. But are you going to change up the colors? And where'd you get the concept for the colors of the black and the red? Because that rock.
There's this thing called 99designs.com. And I use this platform to create my logo for my property management company. And it's like you commit to pay $200 or $300.
Yeah.
You give them the idea of what the company's about, and feed it a little bit of information, and it starts as competition between all these designers overseas. And you go to bed, and the next morning you wake up and you've got like 130 different designs. It just happened that they sent this to me, and it was a different color combination at first, but when we played with it, it just fit. It seemed right. So
Well, I like the fact that possibly you can see one of your suits in the red, white, and blue, and also in the green, white, and red. So you touch all the cultures, and I'd like to see one because of these hats. One that was just camouflage. I think that would be badass.
yeah, well, I did a new one which I'm going to bring to you this weekend in Vegas. It's got the black logo, but it's upside down, just to make people be like, "What does that say?" It's a
Okay, there you
conversation.
go.
Yeah,
There
so
you go.
we did a run of those kind of hats. So they're actually getting a lot of attention because it makes people look twice. Like, what does that say? And
Yeah,
it's a
that's
good
smart
conversation
marketing.
piece. Yeah.
That's very smart marketing. So, okay, let's talk about this weekend's fights. Manny Pacquiao. I mean, who do you have and why? Are we going to see any flashes of the old Manny Pacquiao, of the legendary Manny Pacquiao? How do you see this fight going down? And what was your first thoughts once it was announced?
I was surprised that Manny's coming back again, but I think Manny's going to win. And I'm putting money on Manny. So I hope he wins. He's an underdog. It was plus 250 when I placed the bet. Manny's just Manny, and he's he's got such an awkward style. It's hard
Manny
to
being
defend
Manny.
against that. Yeah, it's hard to defend against that. And I mean, Barrios is he's a good fighter. He's young. He's got youth on his side, but I think Manny's going to stop him. I think Manny's going to stop him in like 7 or 8.
Well, I truly believe that he's going to be
What do you
throwing
think?
punches in bunches. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
a machine.
How do you think it's going to end?
I see Manny out hustling him, and then when he gets him into deep waters, sitting down on his punches, and as if to say, "Hey, I'm gonna get him out of here. I don't get paid to work overtime." He's
Yep.
gonna have his way, be able to land every punch. The crowd's gonna erupt, and then Manny's gonna start sitting down on his punches.
He's definitely going to have a crowd behind him. That's for sure.
Absolutely,
And we'll be there to witness it.
absolutely. Sean Gibbons is a great man. Brennan and Freddie Roach. I mean, he has such a great team in his corner.
Yeah. Well, Brendan's also part of the Fightbook family.
Hey, if Brandon wasn't part of boxing, I told him he'd be a model just without even saying anything,
he was
walking
a
up and
model.
down.
He was a model.
Well,
And
now he's a model for Fightbook and the Fighter's Voice.
yeah, the kids could still be a model. He's a good, handsome dude.
He has it so bad, He walks down there and there's like 5 women that are trying to follow him and get his number. I said, man, your life is just bad right now. You didn't notice what just happened? He goes, what are you talking about? I go, Brandon, come on now. It's all good.
Yep. It doesn't hurt that he's 6-something, 6'3". I don't know. Tall, handsome kid.
Hey, there you go. He has the genes in the genetics.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity to talk to him in Fresno, chopping it up, and wherever I see him, man, he's always coming across and hey, thumbs up for Richie, and just class act kid and Sean too. They don't make him any better than Sean Gibbons. Be the Sean.
Absolutely.
So listen, man, let's move up a step forward. Everybody's talking about this, and whoever I tell you today may not be the answer tomorrow. And we're talking about Bud Crawford and Canelo. What was your reaction when it was made, knowing the weight difference and knowing that this fight is actually going to happen?
I mean, Bud's been wanting this fight for a long time. I wasn't shocked at the news. I'm very excited to see that fight. Bud is the most competitive person I've ever met in my life. He just wants to compete. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's basketball, table tennis, billiards, darts. If there's nothing around, he'll just grab you and start wrestling with you. He's that kind of guy, and he has to win. And if he doesn't win, he goes nuts. So I see this being a very, very competitive fight.
This segment is sponsored by the Maldonado Brothers, proudly serving the Central Valley for over 25 years. From Visalia to Chowchilla, whether it's an expert tree service or professional landscaping, we offer free estimates and a team you can trust. Voted best in Central California for 2024 and aiming for a repeat in 2025. Call 559-994-7746 today and let's bring your outdoor vision to life. Superior quality to create your perfect environment.
And I think I'm putting my money on Bud. I think Bud by decision. I don't think Bud's going to stop him, but I do think he's going to outpoint him.
That's not a bad bet because I've shared with other people that if Canelo doesn't get him out of there, he's not going to win a decision. I see if it goes 12 rounds, I see Bud, his name being announced as a winner and his hand being raised.
Yeah, Canelo's traditionally a slow starter. So's Bud. I think that first round is going to be boring. Although if you ask Bud, I'm sure he's probably going to disagree. But I think the first round is going to be boring. It's going to be a chess match. Canelo's so conservative with his punch output and really doesn't start going until like 4, 5, and then starts, So I think if Bud takes advantage of those early rounds and can, bank some points, he just gotta get in and out of the pocket. His feet have to do the work that fight. He's gotta, those Canelo's hooks are deadly. So he's got, but Bud's smart. He knows what to do. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch that fight.
I'm going to tell you this. I had the honor of being in one of his training camps and he was working out. And I tell you, Mark, prior to that, I got to see Evander Holyfield work out back in the day. Never took a minute off. I mean, the guy can continue to work out. And when Bud's in the gym, he's special to watch. It's like watching Mark McGuire take batting practice. I mean, just the way he moves different. He's just different. You just know that when you're watching him and you see him move the way he moves, so agile and effortless and so much power. He would go from station, he would get on the bike, come in and hit the bins, then hit the bag, and he kept wanting to beat his own time every single time. Then got done, sat down, still had his breath and was taking questions from the media without being huffed and needing water. He was in tremendous shape.
He cranks up the heat during those workouts too. Like I'm standing around, I'm not even lifting a finger, and I'm like exhausted from the heat. So yeah, it's that conditioning though. They say you win fights. It's the training that wins the fight. The actual fight itself it's the work that goes into it before you get in that ring that makes all the difference. So, and he does an excellent job. He's got a great team. So.
And I think his wrestling background is going to be a factor, especially when they tie up. I really do. I think it's going to pay dividends for him.
I know Canelo's strong, but Bud is strong too. People don't realize how strong he is. And I think he's got a longer reach than Canelo, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some big ass hands.
I believe he does.
Yep. And it's going to be great. It's a great matchup.
Oh, it is a great matchup. One thing that stuck in my head is, I believe it was after he beat Sean Porter. I'm in the dressing room. And I remember before he took all his stuff off and got checked out, he was calling his kids because all his kids went there and saying, I'm fine. I'm okay. Okay. Put so-and-so on the line. I'm okay. And he went down the list, letting all his babies know that I'm okay. Dad's fine. And to me, I got to see that. And it was a touching moment, but that was reality. And yep. you know why he does what he does and who it's for.
Absolutely. It's for the family, man. He's got a lot of kids. And his kids are everything to him. And so at the end of the day, as us as parents, that's what we do it for, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we talked about your Sprinter. I seen it all decked out. But I also saw noticed some cars. You got some classic cars. How many cars do you have that are rocking Fightbook?
4 cars are rocking Fightbook. 3 Benzes and 1 Caddy.
Well, there you go.
3 or 4 Benzes in the Caddy.
We got to talk, man. I got to send you my truck. We got to have it wrapped.
Hey, I'm down.
Hey, we gotta have it wrapped. Put the hood on there in the fighter's voice. It could be a great collaboration. But
let's do it.
I'll rock it.
Let's do it.
Yes, and then in my hometown, when we have football games, I'm just going to go park it right in front early. Walk in and then walk out, and it's going to be right there. Billboard.
Curious, let me know. I have these guys design something, a collaboration.
Okay, I'm down. We'll make it happen.
That'd be awesome.
Because the collaboration's there, man. It really is. And I see this thing growing. You're a straight shooter, and I love that because there's no time to BS. You sometimes talk to people, and I keep saying, okay, we'll get to the point. Is there a point here? Boom, let's get to the point because, as you know, time is very precious.
Can't buy time.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. But I tell you this right now, in case you didn't know, I got to let the viewers, the followers, and the fans know. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of combat sports. Go to fightbook.com to register. Already launched. That means we're ready in the system. We're taking over already today, giving you a platform for the fighters, the fans, the coaches. Everyone in the fight game can now showcase their services. Remember, Fightbook is changing the fight game forever. Registration already started. Remember, Fightbook, the only voice that matters.
There you go.
We got to keep the lights on, man. We got to take care of our sponsors, man. We got to keep those lights on.
Appreciate you, Richie.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure. Like I said, you know, I've had like 3 taco trucks hit me up and they said, well, Richard, can you talk about ours? Can you talk about it? How can I say the best tacos in Madera, where I'm from, or Fresno, when I'm doing 3 different ones? And I told them, I'll stop by and I'll sample it. Let's make it happen, man. But I truly I don't want to sell a car that's going to break down. When I sell that car to somebody, I want to ask who I sold it to, hey, how's your car running? Instead of avoiding them, you know? Because I don't want to dish out no weak product. You know, like those shirts that you buy 3 for $10 and then they shrink. No, man, no. I want these to hold their shape, hold their form, and Fightbook's doing it all right now, man. And any chance that I get, like, as you know, especially when the talent is on the show as well, they're gonna know who Fightbook is.
Appreciate that. Thank you,
yes, man. So any shout outs out there? Anybody want to say what's up or how's everything going or any news you want to drop?
Shout out to the team. Shout out to my fighters. Brandon Adams, D'Angelo Evans, Brianna Cruz, all got fights coming up. Shout out to Charles Conwell and the whole Fightbook family. Appreciate you guys. Whole Wise Owl family.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, later on in the show, we're going to have Deontay Wilder, and I don't even want to chop up Paulie's name. I got to make sure I hit it just right before he comes on. He's going to be closing the show. And as you know, Paulie knows his boxing. He's a great commentator, and he's one of the best at what he's doing. And, you know, he wants to make a comeback as doing bare knuckles. So we're going to pick his brain about that. Deontay has some things to get off his chest, and this is the platform for it. And if you have not subscribed, please do at www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. And Mark, if you don't have anything else, it is what it is, man. It was a great show, great talking to you, because a lot of people didn't really know the concept of Fightbook, what it stood for, what it offers, and now they do. Now the whole world is going to know exactly what it stands for and the opportunity that's given to them.
Appreciate that. Last thing I want to say is Paul Malignaggi.
There you go.
I want him to join. I've been on his tail about becoming, you know, part of the team. So, Paulie, if you hear this, pick up the phone.
Hey, he's going to hear this. He'll hear this in about maybe 2 hours, and then I'll make sure we bring it up and we talk to him.
Beautiful.
And afterwards, I'm going to say, hey, man, send me that address, bro, so we can send you a shirt and a hat so you can rock it.
Oh, he's already got it. He's been rocking it.
Oh, okay. Well, there he goes.
Yeah. We're in tune already.
Well, there you go. There you go. Sir. And we got to get Deontay. Got to get everybody registered. Anybody that packs a punch, man, needs to be part of that Fightbook family. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guest, Mark. He's making things happen, and you know what? He's taking over the whole combat sports industry. And what most of all, it's free, and he's giving you an opportunity. I mean, back in the day, who wouldn't want free cable? Who wouldn't want a free meal? Who wouldn't want a pair of free shoes? Well, this is a free opportunity to change your life as a fighter, as a cut man, as a ring announcer, as a commentator, as a matchmaker. The opportunity is there. It's your job to take advantage of it because it's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And like Fightbook, we're simply knocking out the competition. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Thank you, Richie.
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.